Nigerians continue to
Tonight, the city of Lagos went dark as all routes.
Be the first to know from the north, south, east, west, and around Africa. We break the news.
one Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are Core TV News.
Welcome to Core TV News.
24-hour news station.
Hello and welcome to the program. I am Sheyi Martins. In what seemed to be a deviation from the former President Olusegun Obasanjo's speeches and comments about the late winner of the June 12 election, Chief MKO Abiola. Recently, the former president did say Chief MKO Abiola sacrificed for Nigeria, and that question did ruffles quite a few feathers. Indeed, I'm sure you must be thinking at this time, what did he say? That probably may have been different from what the former president has alluded the winner of that concluded 1993 election, that Abiola was considered the winner, undisputed winner of that election. Today in our studios, we have guest, human rights activist and a voter interaction president, Ray Ashawi, as well as Babatunde ASHAFA, who is a human rights activist, joining us on the program to discuss why the ruffle from the comments of President Olusegun Obasanjo, who now claims Chief MKO Abiola sacrificed himself for the nation. Gentlemen, you're welcome to our studios.
Thank you.
Evan.
Thank you so much for being here with us, guys, once again. During the 85th birthday of Olatunde Bada, Obasanjo said that Abiola has sacrificed for the nation. First, what does that statement mean to you? I'm talking to Dr. Ray ASHENEWEN now. What does the statement mean to you? And considering the time it is coming, 21 years after the 1993 elections.
You know, as I said earlier on, this country is a place whereby we celebrate heroes at their death. And looking at it from that perspective very well, you come to understand that the world is coming at this point in time, not because they really celebrate the man, because the man is long gone. But the truth about the matter is that Abiola really sacrificed for the democracy, so-called democracy we have today. He sacrificed a lot.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's come to Babatunde ASHAFA. Of course, you're from this part of the country, and you know there's this sentiment the ordinary Western man will have towards this case of the 1999 election. The acclaimed winner of the 1993, rather June 12 election, Abiola. Some have said that it was because of Abiola that Obasanjo was put in place as a compensation for the Western region because of the sacrifice Abiola made for the democracy of the nation. What is your opinion about this?
First and foremost, I thank the Core TV for giving me this opportunity to appear on their program. I will look at it from two angles. Number one, it was not in recent a compensation for the late June 12 winner, that is MKO Abiola. It was the military arrangement against the majority interest. Secondly, the biggest sacrifice ever made in the history of this country was that of late Chief MKO Abiola, because life itself, it has its own value, and the way you are born also determine the type of value you are going to make in life. So when they look at it from these two angles, they felt that the possible way to forge ahead was to arrange Olusegun Obasanjo to give Nigeria a kind of democratic face to the world. Yes, we are moving forward. But for me, I would like to take the question from this angle. Number one, the sacrifice of the late Chief Abiola was just about democracy, democracy, and democracy. And if you ask me, the likes of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu wouldn't have been a governor in this country if not because of the ultimate sacrifice made by late Chief Abiola. Because these are the people that are product of majority interests. Now, we are also in government. Comrade Adam Aliyu Shiomale wouldn't have become the governor of Edo State without this greatest sacrifice of late Chief Abiola. And of course, I also need to inform the viewers that it is high time to begin to understand who is that MKO Abiola.
Let me take it from this perspective where you did say it was Obasanjo Abiola was a military arrangement. So if we say this military arrangement benefited all these people you have mentioned, as well as Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, who became the president almost immediately afterwards. That's at the start of the Fourth Republic. Would it be out of place for Chief Olusegun Obasanjo now to say Abiola sacrifice for the nation?
Let me inform you what necessitated that comment. You know, truth is so powerful that even if you don't want it to exist, it's just like flowing water. It keeps manifesting that, look, I'm the real factor guiding this life. To me, if you look at democracy, it's so important in the world today. It has become, a driving force of, development. These are leaders that travel around the world, and what they preach just the same thing, because they have to remain relevant. Democracy, democracy, democracy. And if you look at it now, critically, let me just say something about this President Goodluck Jonathan. Jonathan, if you ask me, is Jonathan the product of a minority interest? No, it's a product of majority interest. God strategically, positioned that man to be the president of this country. But the minority interest is that of the military. The military saw it that, no, this is not from our caucus, this is not from my circle, and we have to make sure that this man is rooted out of that place. And I want to say that as a democratic nation, you can't remove a sitting president or governors with an exchange of gun or bombs. It has to be decided by the ballot box. And that is why we have decided to continue to celebrate June 12th. Because if you look at it, you go into our history, you understand that in a democracy itself, the biggest event is general election. And of course, in a democracy, the ultimate source of legitimacy for government in democracy is the ballot box. So to me, whoever believes in June 12th, or whoever make comments giving honor to late Chief Abiola is already celebrating June 12th, and it's already celebrating Nigerian unity. It's already celebrating Nigerian love, and it's already celebrating Nigerian democracy. So,
Mr. ASHAFA, you mentioned the issue of the present president, Jonathan, and the fact that there are opposition through bombs and guns. Yes. That is an interesting issue we'll come to later, but let us take it back a bit. While he was talking, Dr. Ray, he mentioned the fact that the 1999 elections, which saw transition from the military regime to the democratic government still existent in the country, was an arrangement. First, do you agree with him? If you agree with him, does it mean we are questioning the elections of 1999? How many years after?
Now, you will come to agree with me that very well. I don't totally agree with him, actually. First of all, last time when I was here, we talked about the system of the government, the system of the nation. This is then we have SDP, NRC. The fact is that who constituted this? The same military young guys trying to bring a democratic system through their own means to two-party system. And let me tell you something, even before that election, they know who will win. It is an arrangement by them. But somehow along the line, they now see it that maybe the person they thought that MK Abiola was on their side. But unfortunately for them, they start seeing him as a man of the masses. And they felt that it's going to be a problem to them. And that was what happened, what had played then. And the system of this nation, what we call democracy, democracy is something that should be done for the people and for the people. And I must say this, that here, the government we are running is a privatized government by a set of people, a company of people, and they feel that this man is a man of the masses. He's for the people. And Nigeria, if you are for the people, you can never rule this country.
We're talking about the 1999 elections.
The validity of that.
The validity of
that election.
Yes, the election was fair and fair. It was valid. It was legitimate.
So you don't feel it was an arrangement by the military junta?
No, it was not an arrangement. It was not an arrangement at all. It was real. And but when they discovered that there's going to be a very new phase of bringing what we call the real democracy, they have to end it there.
It ended with that night.
It ended with that night. So to
ASHAFA,
me,
would you agree?
To me, what I call democracy ended in 1999. What we have here is what I call a kind of autocracy.
Would you agree to that comment, sir?
I disagree, because you need to also go into the proper definition of democracy.
Okay.
Democracy implies respect for individual liberties. In 1999, where was that individual liberties? And that is my questions to my colleague. And secondly, if you also agree that yes, democracy has become a popular driving force of development since 1999 today, what is that development? So when there is no cunning way to go about it. If you choose to go with minority, when you say minority, it's also intended with poor governance or poor leadership. And in a democracy, the best way to appreciate that, when you know that minority interest in power, is you see the incident cases of ballot box snatching, ballot box stormings, 95% rigging of elections everywhere. That is to tell you that minority interest is operational. And everybody will see that it's not going to produce anything. For me, 1999 general election in this country was a military arrangement. They brought Obasanjo. Then, with due respect to our leader, General Babangida Gbadamosi, he brought out Olufalaye. Were these two candidates, demanded by the Nigerian people? We have to be a little bit, clearer with what happened in 1993. It was not the military that brought the late Chief MK Abiola, neither the Toba. There was, there were fora whereby people decided that, look, this is our candidate for June 12, 1993. So 1999, who decided? So I'm the stakeholder in this country who decided that Obasanjo should be the candidate of the people.
If we're questioning the democracy we have at the moment, because you feel since 1999 till the present moment we've not practiced democracy the way it ought to, and you also agreed that MKO Abiola, the father of democracy, because he sacrificed for democracy in this nation, are we then saying that the sacrifice has not produced the needed result?
No. On the side of the people is getting control of their destiny. They are getting control of their government. And that is why to us, the activists, we keep, shouting until they listen and until they take action. And if at this appropriate time, the former president, commander-in-chief of Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Olusegun Obasanjo, can now be dancing that, look, there is somebody somewhere that must be honored. This comment is the people's comment. And I want to tell you that Jonathan leadership here is already acting on that majority interest. Because we, under the guise of Save Nigerian Group, we troop to Abuja that, look, democracy must take its due course. They wanted to rubbish everybody when Jonathan died and said the word.
Sorry, it's the other one. He said very much alive.
I mean, another one. They did all sort of unspeakable things for Nigerians just to be rubbished until we, took people to the streets of Abuja and Jonathan came in. That is the people's interest. 2015 is, another opportunity for Nigerians. I mean, Nigerian masses. Nigeria in the majority, not Nigeria in the military.
Babatunde ASHAFA, let me hold you here. Ray, from suggestions like this, we are beginning to see a situation where the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, as ASHAFA said, is riding on the shores of what democratic interest is now. And as a beneficiary of that, are we suggesting that all those who benefited, including himself, particularly at this time, with 2015 election looking at us, whatever happened in 1999, 8 years of his regime as president of the nation, some are saying, why did he not say what he is saying now at that time? Would it have been wrong for him to be saying this even now?
All right, at this point in time, I think the sacrifice Chief MKO Abiola did was wonderful and is paying off right now. And from the statement he made, I think it's the high time that every stakeholder in this country has to come together and make this sacrifice a reality. As I said earlier on, that it's only in the Abiola's election that you see what true democracy is all about. And if he's saying that at this point in time, that means that 2015 is going to be a wonderful time of a new democracy and a new face of Nigeria in democracy.
1993 was army arrangement.
Yes, of course.
True or false?
1999.
1993. No. Let's get this to right. Let's not be circumstanced about what we're saying. 1993 was an army arrangement. IBB put together two parties, NRC and SDP. Army arrangement. 1999 army arrangement. Did it benefit us today or not? The point was, 8 years of Chief Olusegun Obasanjo's rule, these comments were not made. Why now?
Good. Why now? It's very, very simple. The military, the retired generals, including him, have lost the grip of Aso Rock. And that is why, one thing, when we were putting pressure to President Goodluck Jonathan not to remove the subsidy, some of the governors, most especially the governors in his own side, said he must do it. But when the injustice came in, they joined the forces with us and said subsidy is evil. So what am I telling you is the generals, Nigerian generals, have lost out of who dictates, who come into the #1 seat or not. And what do they need to do now? Because nobody can kill democracy. It is of records that nobody can enter this, occupy these seats by guns or by bombs or by cutlasses. It has to be decided by ballot box. So they know very well that, look, the only option, the end way for country now, in the interest of all of us, is for us to go through this process of electioneering proper. That whoever wants to become the next president, it has to be decided by the ballot box.
Nigeria is going through a period in its phase of life where it has never experienced before, talking about insurgency. And you did mention something that God placed Jonathan there for a reason as it relates to democracy. You said that, right?
Of course.
And you were alleging that this insurgency is probably by opposition who do not want him in power. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, but with clarification.
Okay.
If you are talking of opposition, we have the progressive opposition. Those genuine interests who are products of the people. We also have opposition who are product of the same ruling party with Jonathan, but lost out of who does this and who take that. And that is where the issue of the insurgency, come into play. It is not the real opposition, the progressive opposition, the democratic opposition that we have that is pushing for that. This is within the same party. And I remain bold to say this. Jonathan knows his enemy. His enemy is not outside the same People Democratic Party.
By progressives, do you mean all progressives Congress? Is that APC?
It can't be APC. The enemy of Jonathan is not APC. In fact, those that have strengthened Jonathan government is the real progressive who control the APC, as I mentioned. But those who are making Nigerian, I repeat, Nigerian state ungovernable for Mr. President and for all of us are the retired generals.
Oh dear! Please, let me hold you there, because these are assertions that are very delicate and very precarious. We're not going to allude to that to say and make this kind of assertion here to say that we are, but the reasoning here. The reasoning here is that if after MKO Abiola's sacrifice for Nigeria, which everybody from the days of Nadeko, these are the ideals Nadeko has been propounding all along, and suddenly former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo suddenly became a convert. This is the question we're asking. The likes of Odumake says, is that true? Did he say so? No, I don't believe. Okay, and many other people that, voices we will get to hear or comments we'll get to read are asking the question, why now? Is Chief Obasanjo a convert of Nadeko ideals? Ray?
All right, I'll look at it from this system. There is time for everything in life. There's time for everything. And with the voice of the people, that everybody's looking at it, that the nation must come through a new phase. And I'm not saying that the Boko Haram was a nice one to the nation, but it has been able to stir up some hidden agendas, hidden things there. I believe at this point in time that he's speaking about this new phase, looking at it, 2015 is coming, it's going to be around there for a new election. Indeed. And the nation is going to go through a new process entirely. So him coming out at this point in time, number one is age. I'm not saying that his old age making him to speak so, but he believes that at this point in time that the only thing he needs to speak is the truth. And the truth there is that this man did sacrifice for the true democracy of Nigeria. So if he's coming at this point in time to speak this, that means to say that there's a new face and a new belief for a great nation, Nigeria. Nigeria is getting better, if that is own ideology right now.
I'm going back to Babatunde ASHAFA. If you still hold your ground that the 1999 elections that brought Obasanjo into power for 2 terms, from 1999 to 2003, and then from 2003 to 2008, having 8 years to govern and not admitting what he is admitting now, is it because of your assertion that it was militarily arranged, quote and unquote? And is that also, could that also be the reason why for 8 years it did not immortalize MKO Abiola?
Good. When the President Olusegun Obasanjo was in power, the sloganeering was very, very clear. And he did not pretend about it. At different programs, at different public events, he proclaimed that. He said to us in PDP, I quote him, election is do or die. Not one, not twice. He kept repeating this until we had that 2007 election that brought in Musa Yar'Adua. So the question is this, to them, they felt, because there's one critical thing we also need to refresh our mind with. If you look at the speech of Chief MKO Abiola, that Epetedo declaration, if you go by what MKO said, Abiola predicted the future of Nigeria. That look, Nigeria does not have multiple problems. Our problem is our. And what is that problem? Nigerian army. Who prevented the people's interest, out of circulation in 1993? Nigerian army. Now, when Obasanjo, when they arranged this same man, I disagree with my colleague, saying the H. Obasanjo was there with that H, saying election in this country today.
We'll hold you right there on that note. We'll still come back to it because I know you have not used that thought. We'll come back. We won't forget to ask that same question. But for now, we need to take a break.
Indeed. Abiola contributed to the development of this country, and he sacrificed very much his own life for us to have our democracy. That's indeed, according to the former President Olusegun Obasanjo. The topic continues because we are discussing just that on Core Digest this morning. We'll take a break for the news. Don't go away. Please join us. And don't forget to put in your comments on our Facebook, on our Twitter,
and of course you can watch our programs on YouTube. If it can be displayed, would appreciate that. And if it cannot, I'll tell you the address now. Like us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Core TV News. You can tweet at us at Core TV News NG. And for previous and current programs and news, you can go to www.youtube.com/Core TV. You leave a space and then type news. Thank you.
Core TV News now provide a platform for live coverage of political rallies and electioneering campaign from anywhere in Nigeria. Political news stories, political editorial reviews, political discussions, personality profile, People's Parliament from the National, State and Local Government Assembly. Contact us now on 0803-471-8550 or 0803-724-9733. 01453-3407.
Our 24-hour news station.